Hello, this is Pastor Bill bringing you another News in Focus, and this one is from the ChristianPost.com. Typically, I stay away from ChristianPost.com stuff because their posts are full of ads, and it just weighs down my computer to no end, and it's a pain. So this is going to be a quick one. Former megachurch pastor Rob Bell tells Oprah the church is, quote, moments away, unquote, from embracing gay marriage. Of course, they're selling a book. It helps them fundamentally at the financial level to sell their book and so to appear on big name stages. Other than Rob Bell looking kind of kooky and metrosexual, I would say that he and his wife kind of look like a handsome couple. I think that they look nice. For the most part. I think there's another shot of them with Oprah, and he's sitting on a couch with his little capris on. But the picture that's on this site is acceptable. Anyways. Former Mars Hill Bible Church pastor and best-selling author Rob Bell told media mogul Oprah Winfrey on Sunday that the American church is moments away from embracing gay marriage and thinks it's inevitable. So they're writing another book, Zim Zum of Love, A New Way of Understanding Marriage. And they were on a special Valentine's weekend episode of Oprah Winfrey. And the same-sex marriage discussion is in the clip on this website. Marriage, gay and straight, is a gift to the world because the world needs more, not less love, fidelity, commitment, devotion, and sacrifice, she noted. That is, Mrs. Bell noted this. She read it out of the book. One of the oldest aches in the bones of humanity is loneliness, says Rob Bell, after Oprah asked him why he included gay marriage in the book, although she was very glad that he did. He said, loneliness is not good for the world. Whoever you are, gay, straight, it is totally normal, natural, and healthy to want someone to go through life with. It's central to our humanity. We want someone to go on the journey with. So he said it twice. Someone to go through life with, someone to go on a journey with. His response then prompted Winfrey to ask, when is the church going to get that? We're close, he began, answering slowly before his wife interjected. I think it's evolving. He then added, lots of people are already there. We think it's inevitable and we're moments away from the church accepting it. Bell warned that if the church keeps resisting same-sex marriage, it would continue to be even more irrelevant. I think culture is already there, and the church will continue to be even more irrelevant when it quotes letters from 2,000 years ago as their best defense. When you have in front of you flesh and blood people who are your brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, co-workers and neighbors, and they love each other and just want to go through life. So I'm going to close this browser out and talk about a couple points because, again, it's weighing down my computer. I don't want it to affect the quality of this recording. But I wonder if Rob Bell is drawing a line like Pastor Sean has, like I have, other people, where there's a difference between a homosexual urge or desire, which we would consider to be a temptation, and carrying on fantasizing, which would be another form of lust, and carrying on in the lifestyle, which would be another form of fornication. If he is drawing that thick line, number one, say so, because that is not what Oprah means. Oprah does not mean two men in bed together. Oprah does not mean two men living in the same house, occasionally looking at each other and saying affectionate things. No. She doesn't mean someone to share the journey with, go through life with. No, she doesn't mean that. She would no doubt include that in a happy marriage. But she's also talking about sexuality. Not just the urges, not just the desire, but the act of sexuality between two men or two women. So, although I want to briefly give some license for Rob Bell to play with the words so that he can sell his books and be on a national platform, I also wish that he would correct what people like me would consequently end up thinking about him, which is that he is pro-homosexuality, because that is exactly what it sounds like. So, two thoughts. Number one, I don't know how you became so anti-Bible. I'm embarrassed now to say it, but I remember thinking highly of his ability to teach the Bible about 7 or 8 years ago. I found some clips of his that were not bad. I began thinking that he really knew what he was doing and that he was just the pastor of a Bible church, and I really enjoyed some of the background that he would give on some passages of Scripture. Made me really think that he was a Bible believer. But now it seems that he pokes fun at those who use the Scripture as their defense. And all I would say is, do you think that you're better because you have an authority that is less than 2,000 years old by which you gauge your morals? That somehow makes you more evolved? Really? You want a morality that changes with time? I would say probably on the outset, no. You wouldn't. No. I would say Scripture does teach against misusing people. I would say Scripture teaches about all the things that people would come back at me and say, well, what about slavery? I think Scripture's pretty clear about that too. So my first question for Rob Bell is, why is it somehow good and evolutionary and progressive for you to have an authority that is about the same age as you? Really, you sound like Rehoboam. I want counselors that talk like I do, that think like I do, that grew up with me. Why? And the second thing is, why is your main argument in that short article 3 times that a good reason for a man and a man to be together and a woman to be together is because you just want life. You just want to be able to get through the journey, just to lead life. Well, again, if you're talking to something as simple as, well, I just want another man to be around, a close friend, and sometimes I'm tempted to be with them sexually, but I know I can't be. But we've chosen to be roommates because we are great friends. Well, I still have red flags with that, but I can, of course, accept that far quicker than I can 2 men sexually involved. Intimately involved. But if really the greatest argument Rob Bell has is that flesh and blood people just want someone to get through life with, and loneliness is horrible, I say, you're right, Rob Bell, loneliness is horrible. So ask God to fill your need with Himself first, and with someone who He ordains to be your spouse next. And then, let us not be these people, Rob Bell, that are looking at a civilization full of adultery, fornication, pornography, and divorce and say, God doesn't want you to be alone. No, and that's why He provided the good way. Chastity and reservation and marriage, the commitment of marriage for 2 young people to give themselves wholly to one another until death. We don't argue with what we think people want. We argue with the fact that you're giving them second best and you're godless for it. This is Pastor Bill. Thanks for listening.